How's it going there? Go ahead and give you guys a warning. I just woke up. My brain don't work too well in the morning, so I'm probably going to ramble a little bit. But it's just something I've been working on for a guy wanted to put a few LEDs in his Nintendo. And just hooking them up to where, you know, when the Nintendo's on, the LEDs are on, is you know, is neat and everything, but there's hardly any fun to that. So what we have here is something I lucked out on. Nintendo's actually made pretty much to do it. So, but down here, your main power connector is coming off of your power supply. As we're looking at them now, let's just count them back. So, like counting back, let's call it 1, 2, 3. The third pin back is going to be your common, your ground, for both sets of LEDs. The first pin is actually about 13.5, 14 volts. And that is going to have 13.5, 14 volts with power applied, with the Nintendo plugged in, but without being turned on. So basically, when you plug it in, those will light up and stay lit until you actually turn the system on. When you turn the system on, pin 1, which, like I said, was sitting at 13.5, 14 volts, drops down to 6 volts, which isn't enough to push 3 LEDs. But the pin behind it, pin number 2, which sits at 0 volts without the system being turned on, once you turn it on, that jumps to 6 volts, which is enough to push, you know, a couple little LEDs. So I'll show you, give you kind of a little demo how what I'm talking about here. Get the power on. There we go. So this is with the system just sitting there. Sorry, I just used whatever I had laying around. So it's one super bright white LED and then 2 of these UVs. So I can't even bend it out enough to keep it from, there we go. You said I can't even bend it out enough to keep it from shining in the camera, but, so this is with the system not being on right now. Go ahead and bend those up and get them in the picture. So these will sit normally. I'm assuming he wants to put them, you know, back here on the 72 pin, which would, you know, light forward, light up your cart door. And then when you turn the system on, let's say you have a game and you turn the system on, like I said, that drops to 6 volts, which isn't enough to push 3 LEDs. But the pin behind it goes to 6 volts, which is more than enough to push, you know, two standard LEDs. You see the system is on. It's sitting there resetting because there's no game in it. These guys are steady on. I don't know what he wants to do with these two. I have no idea. The best I can figure, just hold on, let me get those guys out of the way. I think the best I can figure what he wants to do is there's 2 vents down here, one on either side of the Nintendo. And you could use the LEDs, shine one down one side, one down the other, and have them lit when the system is actually turned on. So I guess that's it. I was just kind of doing this for him to show him where the connections can go. Obviously, he's going to want to wire it better than this. This is completely ghetto rigged. But like I said, pin 3 is your common ground. Pin 1 is 13.5, 14 volts in that area with the system off. When you turn the system on, that drops down to 6. It's not enough to drive that, but the pin behind it, let's call it pin 2, jumps to 6, which is enough to push 2 LEDs. And I did a check on it to make sure I didn't need a resistor. Usually I burn, if LEDs are going to burn out for me, they usually burn out in about a day. Went ahead and ran the thing all day yesterday, all night last night, and then this morning, and the LEDs are just fine. Those 3 LEDs are just fine. So I don't even believe you need any resistance for them. You can put you know, a little resistor in line with each one of them if you wanted to, but it's completely your call. There is enough voltage for these guys, enough spare, if you want to call it that, to put a resistor in if you wanted to, just for safety's sake. But I don't think it's required. And there you go. That's pretty much it. Sorry for the crappy video quality. I just didn't feel like getting my real camera out, so I'll just use my cell phone. So there you go. That's that. Y'all take it easy. Later.